Gentlemen, good afternoon, good evening. I'm not sure where you're calling, where you're dialing in from, but today, Sunday, August 16th, another great day. It is weird weather phenomenon where I'm at because it's like 200 degrees outside, but it's been lightning, thunder, and hail and all that stuff. So it's another plague. I'm not sure what's going on, but some good news. Even though the weather is terrible outside, we have a fantastic show today. Got a couple of guests sitting in the green room right now, and we are going to talk spirits. We're going to talk alcoholic beverages. We're going to do a little day drinking on a Sunday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring on these gentlemen from the River City Whiskey Society. I got Brian and Patrick. How you guys doing, man?
We're good, man. We're good.
Good.
All
All
right.
good things.
We're sober.
Well, for right now, we only been on for like 2 minutes, so that's a good way to start, right? So tell the folks who you guys are. Tell everybody where you are physically located as well. We'll start with you, Patrick.
Yeah. Hey, I'm Patrick. I'm one of the founders with River City Whiskey Society. We're based out of Sacramento. I live over in Roseville, but we have members, all over Northern California. We got a couple in the Midwest and on the East Coast. And we just like getting together and talking, learning, drinking, fun stuff.
These are so, folks. You definitely see why I'm happy to be hanging out with these guys, right? Brian, it's not like I
Yes,
don't
sir.
know you, but
No.
let's just pretend for everyone watching. Who is Brian?
You know what? I'm just a guy that likes to drink whiskey. I started about 5 years ago, and I try to drag everybody I can down this rabbit hole. So this is my lure, throwing it out there to you guys. There's some really good stuff out there to drink, and we're gonna be trying a lot of it today.
So you are essentially a bad influence, is what you're
See,
saying, right?
that would be correct, sir. That would
Okay.
be correct.
All right.
An
All right. 'Cause
enabler.
Yes,
and
and maybe
we already talked about it pre-show. Spence was part of my debauchery some 20 or so years ago, prior to my wedding, and I think I got pretty lit that night for a bachelor party, but stayed out of trouble. But you have turned me on to some interesting spirits throughout the many years that we have known each other, and it's good to see you, brother. So I appreciate you, and I'm glad we're going to do this.
me too.
Now you came by, you dropped off some things the other day. We were protected, right? Yeah, COVID. Shouts out to everybody being safe.
Right.
So wear your mask, do all that you gotta do. But back here in the background, ladies and gentlemen, I've got some samples of beverages. And first of all, they come in little medical bottles. So I just want to make sure that this is on the up and up. I mean, because
Right.
I can't go to the store and pick up something in these little ivory
No.
blue bottles like this. I just want to make sure
No.
that it's not moonshiners or nothing like that, right? If it is,
No,
that's all
no,
right.
no.
That's all right. Okay.
It's not. This is all legit stuff that you can get in a store.
I'm
I
messing
just-
with you. I'm messing with you.
If I knew if I brought you a bottle of each of those, this day would go really bad. So 2 ounces of each is more than enough to get you started with. But any of them that you like, please let us know. We'll make sure you get a bottle. These are all hand-picked bottles that myself or Patrick or other our admins picked ourselves. So good
Okay.
stuff.
So let's talk a little bit about the society before we get to cracking open the bottles. So tell us, you're in Northern California, based out of Northern California. I know you got some social media presence as well, and I'll flash you up the links to your Facebook page and to your Instagram feed. But what are some of the things that you do? Do you do tastings like this for your members? Do you just talk online? Do you do events when the world is open? Or what is the things that the society focuses on?
It's been a little bit of all that. I mean, honestly, before COVID hit, we were doing tasting events once a month. We would do barrel releases. Tasting events usually included a local restaurant, food, cocktails, and then the tasting of a variety, 4 to 5 different spirits from a different brand or name brand. We were doing those once a month. We've continued doing those once a month, even after COVID kicked in. We just switched that to a virtual platform now. So we do it similar to what we're doing here. The nice part about that's been is we've been able to do that with some great scotches and bourbons And now we get the actual distillers that can come on and do those presentations, which it's tough to get some guy to fly from Kentucky out here to do a presentation with 50 people, where now we can get them online with video and they can talk about their spirits themselves. That's been really great. For the most part, the Facebook has been our biggest platform, and it's really just boiled down to us having a good time. And it's open for anybody, brand new people, experienced drinkers, things like that. They have questions. Hey, what's a good bourbon for under $50? Or where can I find this kind of Scotch? Or my friends never drank Scotch before. What his entry level should be? Those kind of things. And we've made it a safe place for people to go. You don't get beat up or beat down for asking stupid questions. So that's really what we've all kind of, to an extent, but that's really what we boiled down to. In the last couple of weeks, we've boiled into some merch. We've done some masks and stuff, River City masks and some glassware. But for the most part, it's really not about making money. It's about having a good time and sharing what we know with people. We do bottle shares. We'll do a random pop-up and invite 20 people, and we all bring bottles and sit there and drink and try and talk about what we brought, things like that. Tacos, yeah. We always supply food.
There you go.
Have a bottle share
Done.
Yeah.
Done. There you go. There you just. I'm coming now for the next one for sure. Tacos and whiskey.
That's the short of it.
Awesome. So, I mean, that's an interesting point, because you talk about no dumb questions or requests, and the delineation or the differentiation between, if someone was asked like a whiskey versus a Scotch versus a bourbon versus a rum. I mean, those are the kind of questions, again, that kind of the layperson would probably ask. I mean, do you get into kind of those discussions with folks or what?
Yeah, I think the cool thing about the group is like the disparity in knowledge that the members bring. So like we have people in our group that have bottle collections that are 2,000 bottles or more. And then we have one of our most dedicated members. She didn't start drinking until her 60s, and then all of a sudden is just on this like learning path to try all these different types of whiskeys and like asking questions. She takes notes at all the tasting. She's like our unofficial notary, and it's great because it's a kind of like a watering hole for anyone that wants to come by and learn a little bit, learn a lot. They can decide to poke in, poke out, and there's some questions that are a little dumber than others, but by no means like everyone starts somewhere. So it's not like there's no test to get in.
That's good, right? Yeah, there's no rules or dues, and you got to understand the difference between a rye and I don't know how good is Bourbon versus Macallan. Those kinds of questions good, because I just want to go in, hang out with some good folks, and enjoy some good spirits, and so awesome. I already flashed up the Facebook page, but I'll flash it up again and put it in the show notes at the end. Talk to us about what we're going to be getting into today, man, and then maybe we can bounce back and forth, and hopefully there'll be some questions as we move forward. But I'm interested to hit some of these single malts, and we got bourbons. Patrick, what we got? I'll let you lead the way.
Yeah, I think the way that I think we should taste through it. So there's the High West bourbon, then the Knob Creek bourbon, then the Peerless Rye, and then we should do the Corsair Hydra at the end. So we can jump into this High West one right now.
And why do you think we should? Why are we starting there as opposed to any of the others?
Yeah, so the Corsair Hydra is a 5 different grain malted American single malt, and then that's finished in a port cask. So there's a ton of smoke on the back end, tobacco. It's got some big heavy hitting flavors at the end. The Peerless Rye is a higher proof. That's over 110 proof. The Knob Creek is a higher proof as well, and that's actually a 14.5-year barrel. And then the High West is a younger bourbon. It's a little bit softer, and that's a cognac finish. So there's going to be a little bit more kind of like a ginger tree fruit kind of component to it. And so that's a good one to step into, and then we'll ramp it up.
Time to get your waders on.
There, well, I've got a glass of water just in case, I end up falling out the chair. So we'll see how this goes. Let's go with this here.
Yeah, so High West is out of Park City, Utah. They started as what they call a non-distilling producer, which means that they were cheers. Yeah.
Cheers.
They were buying all their barrels from someone else who produces
Mm.
a lot of this whiskey. And then they started distilling their own. So over the course of time, they've mixed in kind of their own product with what they've bought. And so this one is a younger bourbon. I don't know the exact mash bill or blend on it. And then they took that distillate and then finished it in a VSOP cognac barrel for 2 years and 9 months, which is pretty
There we
long for
go.
the finish. Yeah, there you go. That's a fairly long barrel finish. A lot of the previous ones that we've seen or worked with were like 12 to 18 months on the barrel finish. So being almost 3 years, there's a ton of cognac influence on it. But it's good. It's like, it kind of has like a little bit of a creaminess to it, bunch of apple, ginger, caramel.
Yeah.
I really like it. Like, tasting notes are a little subjective, but this is a good one for if someone just as much as I hate when people say like, oh, this is smooth. It kind of is.
I'm noticing that you guys have the appropriate drinkware, both of you. So I'm drinking out, but it's all right. But
Hey, Cabo San Lucas loves you still.
I still got my don't start anything. I still got my Cabo. I still got my Cabo Wabo too that Sammy signed. So
you
we
do?
can go long.
That's awesome.
I do.
That's how long
I
it's
do.
been. We were doing shows when Sammy Hagar released Cabo Wabo. He was giving bottles out like it was his job.
You were just signing. I got like two. I got two of them. I gave one to somebody. I can't remember who, but yeah, that's nice. Okay. I won't say it's smooth. I won't.
It wasn't even good tequila. It wasn't even that good.
Now that you're educated, right, in the proper.
That's it. Now that my palate is more sophisticated.
More refined.
That's it.
So
no more Goldschlager for me.
So let's talk about that, because we got some pretty high end spirits here today. What do you guys normally drink on a regular day, right? You got the barbecue going, you got some steaks going or whatever. You have a nice dinner. What do you on a daily basis? Are you opening up a bottle of one of these that we're testing or tasting, or what are you working with?
Well, ideally, most of these bottles we're tasting are all under $100 and not really expensive at all. I mean, the Peerless and the Hydra will probably be the most expensive ones we're drinking, and those are right around, I want to say, $80 or $90. But for me personally, it's whatever I have open on the bar, and whoever's open wants to drink. It's not very often I'll sit by myself and just go have a drink. But I have friends or guests come over and they want to open something up, we will. Or if there's something open, we'll drink that. As far as pairing goes, that kind of thing, I just like whatever's open, whatever I'm in the mood for.
Yeah, I'm usually Manhattan is kind of my cocktail drink if I'm sitting at home, like reading a book. But no, I've actually been my palate's kind of shifted a little bit. I'm drinking a little bit more single malt, some more Scotch recently. Was crushing bourbon for a while, still do, but kind of bounce around. Like I like trying a lot of different stuff, different finishes, funky mash bills. So
Uniqueness.
Yeah,
I would say but Brian has more bottles than I do for sure. I cut down on mine, but I probably have like 15 or 20 open, and then maybe another 30 or 40 stashed. But it ebbs and flows. Always try to, like, if I'm going to go pick up a bottle, I'll try to find one to finish, count it for one, and maintain that inventory.
I love it. You got to keep the inventory high. So I've kind of grown into, I'm not going to say matured into, but I've kind of grown into more the Scotches, right? So I'm typically a Macallan or an Oban. Those are the names that I know until now. So I'm looking to improve and expand the palate for sure, and can't have too many more Alabama Slammers and Long Island iced teas. Once you hit a certain demographic and little age group, you can't really have too many more of those club drinks where they just mix everything together. So you you want something that you can enjoy, like Drambuie, right? Right. So when I used to smoke cigars, haven't smoked a cigar in a number of years, but I would dip the end of it into some Drambuie and enjoy that as well. So.
There's a Scotch cocktail with Drambuie. I think it's a rusty nail, smoky nail. It's like Scotch Drambuie and maybe one other thing. But you might like that if you like both those things.
I might have to take. Well, I understand you don't live too far from me. run through the field one day and come over there and have a Manhattan with you, while we're reading books.
Come through, man. That's
That's
my
bartender, man. He can make some great drinks. He knows
yeah.
flavor.
In a past life, I was known to sling some bottles, so I still got it. I think.
Now, talk to me a little bit about where, and you don't have to mention specific locations, but how do you get your bottles? Do you go specifically to the big box retailers, or do you work directly with distributors and bottlers and things of that? How do you acquire your spirits?
Yeah, so California has a 3-tier system, which means you have to go through the producer, they go through the distributor, and then that has to go to a retailer. So one of our fellow admins owns a store, and that's kind of like home base for us. That's where we run all the barrels through, so it comes into his shop, and then everything is ran through there.
Nice.
We could probably shout them out. Roco Wine and Spirits. That's the spot. That's the plug in Sacramento. If you need some bottles,
Especially our good stuff.
Yeah, so they all come through there.
Spirit.
Yeah, Roco Wine and Spirits. So
Okay.
they all come through there. It's cool. Local business, locally owned. So that's kind of one thing that we really try to focus on the society is, there's brands that everybody wants to taste, but we still try to elevate some of those lesser known brands that have a lot of value. And when we do the barrel selection, we try to pick up those barrels that we think have a value that are better than what's on the shelf. And pre-COVID, we were really focused on, hosting events at local restaurants that are not those kind of like big chains. Like we want to support local business. So that was always the goal, was to kind of showcase the food that's happening in Sacramento. There's a ton of good culinary talent, and unfortunately, they're just being disproportionately impacted by COVID right now. And so once we get out of this pandemic, that's definitely going to be a focus of ours, is trying to revive that great culinary culture we have in Sacramento.
I love it. Hopefully, I know we're getting some new restaurants opening up in our area. Hopefully, you can do some tastings and some pairings and some events at some of the new facilities that are opening up in our neck of the woods, because we don't have anything right now. So we'd love to see you guys have something, and I'll be there in the back, just sipping through all, just taste testing. Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, it's getting kind of warm in here, just with this High West bourbon.
So what are your thoughts so far?
Make sure I had the AC on. It's nice. Again, I'm already a single malt kind of person, right? So I love that warmth. I love that heat. I love the I said I wouldn't use that word, but the smoothness. I mean, because it doesn't go down with that burn, right? I mean, sometimes you want that. Not a lot of times you don't want that. But this is very nice. I can definitely see this after a hard day. Yeah, any day. It's Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I think you'll like the last one probably the most. That'd be my guess, but we'll see.
That's good stuff.
Okay.
What about scotches do you like, James, that drives you to like the Macallan or the Oban? What about those things do you like?
I like the full-bodiedness, right? I mean, so I think it's very similar to my wine selection, and I know I typically will only drink a red because I like that earthiness. I like that what's left on the palate, right? So I actually like to, I'll sip this and drink this and hold it on the tongue and on the throat a little bit. So I like the that full body. I like the darker liquors as opposed to something. I don't really like a lot of vodka or tequila or gins, anything of that nature, because that's definitely flammable, right? I don't want to mess with it. It just tastes like it's flammable, to be honest. So I'd rather have something that's got some fruit flavor, some of that earthiness to it, and things like that. So I've just been more of a like I said, the dark liquor kind of person for the longest period of time.
And that's honestly where most of us get sucked in. It's that change. I mean, I started drinking whiskey because I didn't want to drink vodka anymore. I didn't want those sweet drinks anymore. And honestly, I didn't care for the taste of whiskey that much. So, but I figured it'll take me longer to drink this glass of whiskey neat than it would to drink 3 vodka sodas. And
Yeah.
now I could drink 3 vodka or whiskey neats in 45 minutes and be like, all right, what's next? It gets kind of dangerous in some of our tastings. We just start going, oh, that looks good. Let's pour some of those. Let's pour some of those. We've had some
like catch up.
That's it. That's it. But that's what makes our tasting so fun with our events. If you get a chance to join one, because you'll really get to try some stuff that's different from different parts of the world. Single malts. We just did one with milk and honey that was amazing, and they make a great gin. Honestly, they do. It's a great spirit in general. Whiskey in general is a great spirit to admire because there's so much of it to try and so many different ones to taste, and you'll get so much different complexities out of it. And it's, for me, I've learned that I like that when you drink it and it makes your mouth water, it makes you want to drink more. I like that burn. I want a cask strength. I want something high proof. Where when I started, Blanton's was the best whiskey I've ever had in my life as far as I was concerned. And it's still a good go-to bourbon, but it's definitely not my favorite anymore. There's so many other things out there I've tried. And it's actually ventured me into other things like rums and such. And I was never a Scotch drinker, but I've had some Macallan Scotches that I thought tasted like dirt, and I loved them. Like you talk about that earthy feeling. The Macallan M was tasted like it had been sitting in dust for like 30 years. But it was good. It was really good.
Yeah. And the older that you get, right?
Yeah. And I didn't think I would appreciate something like that. And I found that I do. I just my wallet doesn't appreciate it as much.
There's the problem there. Yeah, right. It's like everything in life, you get what you pay for. So, you need to go with the one that's been sitting in barrels for 3 years, the one that's been sitting in it for 10, 25 or whatever. It's going to cost a little bit more to get that higher quality. And but again, you get what you pay for.
Yep. Absolutely.
Speaking of gas strength, we should maybe jump to the next one.
All right, here we go, son. Get real.
Let's see. Is that Knob Deep? No, not at Knob Creek.
Yep.
Knob Creek, here it comes.
Yeah, okay, hold on. Let's see.
You can see the difference in color, how much darker that looks, because that spent 14 years in a charred oak barrel. It's got a lot of color to it, and it's very tasty, very, very tasty. Okay. This was our second or third Knob Creek pick, and we have not. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
We have not been unsatisfied with anything that Knob Creek we picked. They put out a pretty good product.
Yeah, this one brings a little more punch. So I think
you smell it.
Yeah, the proof jump from the High West to the Knob Creek High West, I think, is 92. And this Knob Creek, I believe, is 120.
Wow!
Yep.
Oh wow! Yeah. That's the real deal right there.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the party started. Okay.
Now you can feel your mouth watering. Your cheeks are saliva kicking in. Try to put the fire down.
Hey, now Spence and I can start telling Clear Channel and Bill Graham stories in a few minutes. Now we can start to.
There's gonna be a second segment of just talking crap.
Gotta get some roamers. Go for roamers.
Yeah,
oh no,
roamers.
where's that? Oh my. No, that's nice. That's really good.
Yeah, but Knob Creek does a great product, and their age limit. I think did they determine that we're not going to do they're not doing the barrel age stuff, this program, for discontinuing it for a while or something?
So there was a run of 14 and 15 year barrels in the selection program that they ran through. So we actually got our first Knob Creek bourbon pick was a 14 year barrel, and then this one is a 14 and a half year barrel. We did a second one because the first one was so good, and doesn't seem like those are going to be available, at least in the near future. It's tough to say for sure, but with the demand in whiskey right now, the higher age statements are becoming less common, and so to be able to pick up barrels like this for the society was a big win, because there's 12-year, 10-year bourbons that go for $100, $200, and that's the cool thing for me, like on the society side, is getting able to get barrels that are really high quality, and not that age necessarily determines that, but making sure we're bringing value to the society. And so I think this one retailed somewhere between $60 and $70, which for 14, 15-year bourbon is fairly reasonable.
Okay. You mentioned something, Patrick. The demand for whiskey is higher now. Now, is that just because you think Is it the pandemic effect of the pandemic, or do you think it's just effect of folks looking for more substantial beverages, right? I mean, look for something
Yeah.
different. I mean, do you see it as a kind of in a shift in the aging demographic, or just because everyone's locked down now? So I'm gonna get something to drink, and I'm gonna get a decent drink instead of buying
Yeah, I think
Mickey's or
shout out to Mickey's hand grenades.
I just dated myself.
Um,
Yeah, you know,
there you go. That's all right.
little
No,
Boone's
I think
Farm.
like whiskey's been on the tear for a number of years, and I think at least when the last time I was working in bars, it was like you could feel that vodka was becoming less popular. People were coming in. I think craft cocktails was a huge part of that revival. There's, like vodka just isn't as involved in a lot of the craft cocktail movement. So whiskey having this like Americana, feel to it was naturally just going to benefit from that resurgence of, old fashions and Manhattans. And I want to have a really good drink as opposed to just like, vodka soda. And so I think whiskey's at a high right now. The distillers seem to have met that demand. There's put a ton of money in building more rick houses and distillation equipment. There's a bunch of micro distilleries that have popped up that are great. Westward out of Oregon is making single malts, and they just popped up. Whereas like there's the normal giants in Kentucky, Beam Suntory, Heaven Hills, all the main players. So it's a cool time to be a consumer, I think, because there's so much variety. I don't know how much more it can go, but it's definitely popular. What I think is going to happen is like the reason that these companies keep releasing all these like new bourbons and new whiskeys is because people, the demographic right now wants to try different things. And so if they produce out like these different products that are probably fairly similar in flavor profile, like they're just changing the target. What I think is cool and what, I see in the society is people come in, they have stuff they like to drink, and then they get curious. And then the members say, hey, if you like Macallan, you should try Edredor, which like no one really knows about. It's an amazing sherry cast finish single malt. And it just won't be something.
I'm writing that down.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm writing.
Yeah. And Edredor 10, that was a great bottle. So that's what's cool. And I think more and more people are going to get to that point where like they're going to gravitate into Scotch or they're going to gravitate into rum. They're curious about trying different things, and it's not just necessarily like I just want to drink 25 different bourbons. It's like,
Yeah.
How many turkey and cheese sandwiches do you want to eat? Do you want to eat 25 different ones, or you want to try a different sandwich? Like at some point,
Why you messing with my grilled cheese sandwiches? Okay, now I'm just messing with my grilled cheese.
Okay.
So let me ask you about this, and I'll start with you Brian. Are you typically drinking neat, or because Pat has already said that he likes a good Manhattan, right? So I'm single malt Scotch guy, but I do like a good rusty nail, an old fashioned, the Manhattans, things like. Are you doing some of those combinations, or are you just pretty much neat or on the rocks kind of person?
Typically for me, it's a neat. I would say 75% of what I drink is neat. The only time I will add, I'm a more of a, I guess you can call it purist. I like just whiskey like it is. The only real craft cocktail that I would drink on a regular basis with whiskey in it would be an old fashioned. I adore old fashions. I make them at home, that kind of thing. If I'm out drinking and they don't have a great big whiskey selection, my go-to drink is always going to be Jameson, and I drink Jameson on the rocks and can drink that all day by the pint glass. As some have seen, Jameson on the rocks is easy to do. But for the most part, I would say neat, and that's just because I enjoy the flavor overall. If it's something really high proof, I might drop an ice cube in there or a couple drops of water just to see how it changes, more out of curiosity than just like a taste. There have been things that I've drank and I tasted for the first time, went, wow, this isn't something I like at all. And I've added an ice cube to it and went, okay, it's a little more tolerable. But for me, I like everything about whiskey, the way it tastes, the way it feels, the coating that it leaves in your mouth. I like to explore the leather, the tobacco taste, the earthy features that it has. I like the dried fruit aspect of it. I mean, everything I try, I want to taste something different in it. I just found so many different whiskeys out there that I've liked that I never thought I would. I mean, and again, if my wallet could afford half the stuff that I like, it would be a dangerous day. I don't think I'd be sober a day in my life.
I love I'm definitely adding this to my go-to. This Knob Creek is nice. I see you listening, Dad. I'm gonna buy you a bottle of this before too long. We gonna share a bottle of this Knob Creek for sure.
That's a good father-son bottle right there.
Yeah, yeah. Spence, it's funny that you mentioned Jameson because I have a bottle that I bottled right at the motherland.
Oh,
Right.
nice.
Me and my wife went to Ireland a few years ago, and I have a 150 proof bottle that I bottled straight out of the cask. And I only opened it. I said I wasn't going to open it except for special occasions. First
Right.
time I opened it was when my daughter graduated high school. I used to have it right here behind my desk on the stand, but that got a little contentious while I was on business calls to have a whole bunch of whiskey behind me. So I had to move it, and so I just got water bottles back there now. But yeah, I'm a Jameson whiskey man myself, and I kind of got spoiled by getting it directly from the factory in Ireland.
It makes a difference, man. It really does. I have a cask strength from Jameson. It's probably one of my top 3 favorite whiskeys I've ever. And it runs in around 125 proof, so I can imagine what 150 is going to taste like.
It's up there, brother.
Amazing.
It's up there.
So I guess my visit the other day wasn't good enough to pop it open or anything.
Oh, see, there you go.
Okay.
There you go. You know,
Maybe drive 45 minutes to BFE Roseville.
Yes, you did. But now you know that. Hey, but you know what?
Now I
I'll
know you
drink
got
to
good stuff to keep behind closed doors.
It's
Still
locked
love you,
up.
brother.
You
Still
know.
love you.
You too, man. You too. Hold on. Let's drink some of this. Oh man, this is all right here. Anybody watching? Got any questions? I know there's folks. I see multiple streams going on, so I know there are folks sitting back, listening and learning. You just waiting for me to fall out of the chair.
Drinking.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. I'm not falling out of the chair. So. Okay.
Yeah, everything we're
Okay,
tasting today, if you're curious, you can get bottles of through Rocco. So he'll even deliver. So if you're here in California, he'll deliver it to your house. So just go to his website, punch what you want.
Wait a minute, he'll deliver it to your house as well. So I don't even have to get in my car and go to West Sacramento. He lives in West Sac.
Nope. Patrick, how many deliveries you get a month?
Almost once a week. So if you want to jump in on I think they come out on Wednesday.
That's a good point.
You need to get something thrown in.
Deliver right to Patrick's house. You go pick it up from him.
Yeah.
Hope he doesn't drink it all.
Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, Rocco Wine and Spirits. Oh, hold on, let's see. Are you 21 to enter? Let's log in. What else do you drink? I know we got a couple more bottles, and I know you're specifically the Whiskey Society, but talking back about Ireland, right? That was my first real experience with Guinness. Right, Guinness here is terrible, in my opinion, right? Because it's got to cross the ocean, but once you get it right out of the spigot there with the CO2. I mean, are you guys also dabbling in IPAs? Do you dabble in beer? Do you dabble in wine, or are you guys specifically around spirits?
Yeah, I used to drink a good amount of beer. I was into like barrel aged stouts and stuff like that. Actually, like on a day like today, like a good German Kolsch, I like just like something really light, crisp. But I actually worked in wine for a number of years, so I have a kind of a special affinity and appreciation of wine. I don't drink as much of it anymore, but yeah, I love wine. I mean, we're in a cool place in the world where there's a lot of good wine, both locally, and you can go out to Napa and Sonoma and pick up, something if you want to ball out a little harder. But yeah, that's probably my backup after spirits.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
So what are we drinking now? Are we drinking Rye 2, Rye 1, or the 15 years?
It's the 15 years what we're drinking now.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. Well, appreciate you on the good stuff. Out of stock. Oh my goodness! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. It's out of stock at Roke, because we got the last bottle. Yeah. Oh,
you just got to know the right people.
I guess it's all in Patrick's garage. That's why, right? All the cases are in. All right, $60, and that's a, how big is that?
That's a
$750. Yeah.
Okay, 750. Okay, so still standard. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, the
15
Kilhoman.
years.
That's the one I'm going to send to you because that's the one I think you'll dig. If you like the Oban and you like Macallan, I think you're really going to dig that Kilhoman. It was a great pour. It was just really good overall, well-rounded taste. Um, One of the first scotches I really fell in love with, and it's not really a scotch; it's more of a single malt, but it was really really good. It was the first thing that got me liking that peated smoky taste. Being that it was a
Okay.
sherry cask finish, I'm a fan of sherry too, so that always helps. That's the nice part about these whiskeys as well, which causing me to grow more and other people as well is what they're finishing them in. So like you tasted the High West, it was finished in a cognac barrel. Then when we get to the Hydra, that was finished in port barrels. So traditionally port wines are sweeter, so you're going to get more of that sweet finish in them. That makes a big difference. Rum finish, tequilas are doing whiskey barrel finishes now. You can get whiskey or tequilas out there that are aged in some of the Buffalo Trace barrels and things like that, just to change it up a little bit. There's gins that are aged in bourbon barrels that I think are amazing. I mean, they're fantastic. You can
Wow.
drink them neat
Okay.
like you would a whiskey. There's so much going on in the whiskey world these days and different things to try. And if you tried whiskey and decided you didn't like it, try something else because you're going to find something you like.
That's a good point. I like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
The next one, this Peerless Rye. This is going to be a bit of a change up from
Okay.
Knob Creek. So this
All
is
right. Peerless Rye.
still fairly high proof. I think this is 110 or 111.
Oh my
Brian, you
God.
might be able
All
to
right.
hold me honest.
Yeah, 110.7.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, this.
All right. Well, let me.
So this I think is a 4.5 year rye. I think that's about the approximate age. And this, like, we're gonna kind of step out a little bit from that sweeter bourbon profile and get into more of like a grain herbal kind of flavor component, a little bit of spice.
Yeah, peppery.
Yeah, it's like almost drier. Has kind of a drier kind of
Yeah.
finish to it.
Got it.
Almost
Cheers,
smells
man.
like hay. Like, yeah, cheers.
That's different. That is different. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you say that this is actually higher proof than the Knob Creek because.
Oh, this one's a little less. This one's a little less.
Oh,
proof.
okay.
Yeah.
Less fruit.
Okay.
You'll get more of a burn because of the rye feature, but after tasting the Knob Creek, everything's going to taste smooth to you.
Everything's just gonna go down, right?
Yeah, everything's just
I
going to
love
taste velvety. I think one of the
That's
things I
nice
like
too.
most about
Okay.
the Peerless is the overall complexity of it. It's got a great nose. It's got a great mouthfeel. It doesn't have that super burn like a young whiskey would or a rye whiskey would. Both those
Yeah.
things typically will give you more of
Yeah.
a burn, where this one doesn't give you either of those as bad as you would think it would. It's going to have some little kick to it. I mean, obviously at 110 proof, you're going to feel it a little bit. But overall, it's got a great nose on it, a great mouthfeel, and it has a great flavor in the back of your throat when you're swallowing. It's like, okay, this tastes really tasty. It leaves you wanting to taste it again, which is one of the best things you can find about a whiskey. If you want to taste it again after every time you drink it, you found a whiskey you like, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I could do like a double of this, but I could do a single of this, right, on a regular basis. Just again, just tasting from right now. It'll probably be all bad, but this is really
Yeah.
nice going down. Yeah.
There'll be a term. You got singles and doubles, and there'll be a term coming around. I guarantee it's gonna be worldwide. It's called an Ornelius pour, and once you see what that is, you'll never look at things as a single or double again. But
Is that
when
right?
you join the society,
An Ornelius pour.
just
Just
look for an Ornelius pour. It's
okay.
gonna be,
That's the secret. That's the secret handshake, right? You know, I got to
Oh,
know
yeah.
about the Ornelius.
you gotta be able to do an Ornelius pour. If you can
Okay.
do one of those, then you can drink anything. That's a dangerous man right there. Jason Ornelius coined that phrase, and it's that glass you're drinking. Imagine filled to the brim with one of these
Really?
120 proof and drinking it in one shot.
That's not gonna happen. Look, I those days are gone, brother. We left. I left those days with you in Tahoe, right at the Lawler
Long-
Event Center,
Long ago.
at the Shoreline Amphitheater. I left those days with you back there at those locations. I can't. Yeah. Shouts out to Lawler Event
Day's
Center.
not
Is
over.
that isn't that where I got kicked in? Is that I got stepped on at the Megadeth show?
I think that
I
was
think
yeah. I
that's
think it
where
was
I.
Shoreline. Or
No,
was that nope?
that one too. No, that one too. But no, I got stepped on
You got kicked out and stepped out of a lot of shows.
at Megadeth. So Patrick, check this out. I'm working with Spence. He's doing operations. He's setting it up, making sure everything is right. Megadeth is on stage. I stand out in the crowd for some reason. Right at a Megadeth
Only
show.
Megadeth show.
I don't know what. I go into the middle of a mosh pit, try to either break it up or try to get some kind of order, because some of the young kids weren't in there. They weren't doing it. There is a method to the madness, right? You got to know how to throw the elbows. You got to know how to pick up your brother when he's down, that kind of thing. Next thing you know, I get surrounded by a lot of concert goers and fans, and as I come home that night, I've got big old footprints on the back of my shirt because I got bamboozled and hoodwinked. I got taken. It was just not a good night. I would just say that. I got taken down at a Megadeth. So you and Tracy were saying, don't worry about it. Just let them happen. It's a mosh pit. They know what they're doing. They'll take care of themselves.
Yeah.
Don't go in there, James. But I went in there anyway.
Don't go into the hole. Don't go in the hole.
I called some roamers for the next time. Next time we do a show, Marilyn Manson. I didn't go into the hole. I called some other folks. Yeah, I didn't go in there.
That guy set you on fire.
He tried to. I was in front of stage. He was burning up the Bible, which I had problems with, and then he started throwing it off the stage, and I almost caught some paper. I almost burnt up out there. Yeah.
That's all right. That's all right.
That's not.
That's how we learn to grow. That's how we learn to grow, man. And here we are, 55 years later, drinking whiskey.
Oh my! And we both have. We both lost a little bit on top there. You don't want to see mine. That's why I wear a hat all the time. Patrick, you're the only one that still has any foliage up top.
I'm not winning much, but it's still there technically.
You winning, brother. You winning. It's all good. It's all good. Okay.
So what do you like so far?
That Knob Creek was really nice. I mean, I like that hit that it gave me, right? And again, I tried to take a little swig of water to kind of mask before I went into this Peerless, but that Knob Creek is probably still number one. This Peerless is number two. Not putting that High West down because that was nice as well, but I really like the comfort feeling I think that I'm getting with this, right? I mean, with this Peerless Rye that we're drinking right now, that's really nice. Like I said, I could probably do a double of this, be comfortable for the evening, sitting back with my wife, we watching Yellowstone or something on TV. That's the show.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you, that's the show. It's not about the park. It's not about Yellowstone National Park. It's
probably one of the best.
Definitely
Kevin Costner's best show.
Yeah, Kevin Costner's a bad man in that show. Patrick, you watching that?
I haven't seen it yet. Not yet. I'll check it out.
What are you doing, man? You working or something?
Patrick got a new baby. Patrick got a little one running around.
Okay.
He's adorable, man.
I love it.
I work a lot, and then plus that, but I'll try to catch up.
No excuse, brother. No excuse. It's all about work-life balance. My old employer taught me that many years ago. Work-life balance. You got to have that. But
that's right.
this is nice. Okay. But congratulations on the baby though, man. That's the best gift. That's the best gift ever.
It's cool. I'm loving it.
All right, you ready to take the next step there, James? To the dessert.
Why are you rushing me?
I'm just asking questions. I'm just a guy asking questions.
I know I'm sweating and doing. Hold on, I might have to take myself off camera right quick. Do some producing behind the scenes so folks don't. Hold on.
Don't stand up and fall down.
Hold on. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, pay no attention to the dead air, folks. I know we live, but this is good TV right here. This is where it's all about. All right, take us home, Patrick.
Yeah, this.
Yeah, hold
So
on. No,
this is,
we said we were going to shoot for 20, 30 minutes, and look, it's 45 minutes, and it's still going. This is great. This is greatness. Okay.
yeah.
Uh,
This is so this is Corsair. They're out of Tennessee.
okay. Okay.
This is a blend of 5 different malted barleys. Brian's got the I think on the bottle it says there's a number of different ones like I forget the name of them all, but
That's dark.
yeah. So this is finished in port barrels, and this is only 84 proof, so not as heavy as a hitter. You're going to get that malted barley component in it, obviously, versus some of the other pours we've had. So this might kind of pull you back a little bit more into that Scotch wheelhouse that you like, and definitely a rich kind of raisiny fruit from the port.
It was aged almost 2.5 years in a port barrel, so that's where that dark color is coming from. But you're going to get a lot more dried fruit out of it. You'll get a lot more complexity overall. But this and a piece of chocolate cake, and you're done.
I'm not feeling this one. I'm not feeling it though, brother. I'm not feeling it. See, I'm not a dessert.
Sure.
I'm not a port Riesling. No, Gewürztraminer. I'm not. Drambuie is kind of the biggest thing that I would go to from a dessert or type of a spirit. Hold on.
That's fair enough.
James is turns out he's a big bourbon fan then.
Now we know.
I am. I am. So, this one is okay. I'd buy a round for everyone, but I drink one and then I move over to the Knob Creek or to yeah. So I don't hate it, but it's of the 4, it's my 4th. I'll just say that.
This one I think is probably one of the more out there barrels that we've done. This is definitely like very different from most of the stuff that we do, but
yeah,
we throw a curveball in there.
But just like relationships, right? I mean, you think about it, just like relationships. There's somebody for everybody,
Sure.
So someone's gonna like it. I mean, this. Yeah. Okay.
You gotta drink a weird single malt to appreciate a bourbon, right?
Yeah. Well, we've done a lot of weird stuff. I mean, and people have just clung to it, thought it was the best whiskey they ever had, and then other people are like, it's okay. But like Patrick was saying, we got to throw a curveball out there once in a while. If we were just going to pick barrels of bourbons every day, we'd be a barrel group of whiskey, a barrel group, and not a whiskey group. So we like a lot of different things.
That's one of the cool things with like how many people are in the group is there's so many different flavor profiles. So like we can go pick something weird like this. There's people who are into it. Then we'll move to the next thing. Those same group of people might not be into the next barrel, but we keep it moving and keep it mixed up.
This is one of those though.
Go ahead.
If you liked it, you won't get it anymore. It's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. Even the distillery itself doesn't make this SKU anymore. So it's one of those really kind of like if it's one of those you want to save for a special occasion or something, you can. Or if you really really dug it and you liked it, it's recommended you get a couple bottles of it. But yeah, the Hydra SKU itself, Corsair actually dropped off their distillery menu, so they don't make that brand or that style anymore. And when we tasted it cask strength. We all fell in love with it cask strength because it had that 130 proof burn, and but it was a matter of that's part of one of the decisions we make when we pick barrels too. Is we pick a barrel of something that's going to give us 360 bottles of something. How with a brand like Corsair, which if you're in the know, Corsair makes good stuff, but if they're not, then you don't know nothing about Corsair. Then we're trying to get rid of 360 bottles of whiskey is hard to do. Where you can go dilute it down, and now we got 200 bottles of it, and we split the barrel with someone else, then it's a little different overall. So,
okay. Patrick, you made a statement a minute ago about you got to taste a weird bourbon to appreciate. What were you saying? Say that again. Say that statement again.
Yeah, you gotta taste the weird single malt to appreciate a bourbon.
Put that on a T-shirt, brother. You said you said you guys were doing merch. Put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah,
That's the
so
back of our
let,
next River City shirt.
yeah, I like it. Bumper stickers, everything.
No worries, no worries. I appreciate that. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, I want to be cognizant of everyone's time. I want to be appreciative of the event that we had tonight, and the fact that we were able to go through 4 pretty nice selections from the River City Whiskey Society is a treat for me. Pat, Brian, thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for the education. I'm still drinking. I'm still drinking the Corsair. I'm not gonna give it too much of a hard time, but you know, not too bad, not too bad. But I'm gonna eventually go back and finish off that finish off that Knob Creek.
Good man. Good
Give
man.
us give us so I already put up the Facebook page. I know the Instagram. Tell us what you got going in the very near future with the society, so folks can know.
Yeah, I think I'll have to confirm the date. I believe the next tasting is September 15th. We're nailing down what we're going to pour on that, but all that information will be on our Facebook page. And then the next barrel releases we're working on. It's probably not going to be next month, possibly the month after. All that will be on the Facebook page. You have a link below there. And yeah, if there's anything you want to try or you're curious about, just shoot a message over. Happy to help.
Yeah, we're happy to give you info on anything.
Yeah. I'll be on my bike tomorrow, Pat, over to your house. So I'll be the guy knocking on your door about noon, looking for some whiskey at noon on a Monday afternoon.
Come through.
I love it. You guys, appreciate you. Thank you very much. You guys have a great evening. Thank you very much for the time. Thank you very much for the education. I will definitely see you guys soon and look forward to catching up with you guys once all of the world has finally opened back up again.
Yeah.
Thanks
Sounds
for
good. Stay safe.
See ya.
Thanks.
Guys.
Bye.